H-Town. Tomorrow they will take on the Houston Texans for their second preseason game, an important one at that. A number of players are still fighting for a roster spot on this team. Right now, it's all about depth, and this game will prove just that. We've seen a number of players stepping up in good ways during practice. Now, the temperature in the room has been cranked up, literally and figuratively.
Fatigue, lack of focus, that's something that we have to learn to do better. We have to be able to fight through fatigue, fight through exhaustion. You know, it's going to be hot. We're going to go to Jacksonville week 1. It's going to feel like this. Can we maintain that level of focus play after play? Regardless of what the last play did, can you breathe on your way back, and then can you execute? And I saw the penalties pile up when we were tired. That's something that we have to get better at. But again, guys, it's football. You know, we'll be prepared for it. You know, we let the guys know. Go out there, give everything you have. We see that you're gassed, we'll get somebody else out there, and that's where the depth that we're building here is so important as we, continue into the season.
Jorge, what are you going to be looking for in this game? Who needs to step up the most?
Look, I'll address the defense here in a minute, but real quick, I want to start with, because that's clearly the answer the defense does. But on offense, I want to see more consistency on the offense. I think we got to see a little bit of that in preseason game 1, but I want to see them to continue to finish. I want to see excel. I want to see Xavier Legette. We didn't get to see him after he got disqualified against the Cleveland Browns. So I want to see that next progression, that next step, especially with the chemistry with him and Bryce Young. Now, I talked about the defense. The defense is obviously a point of interest. Derek Brown is going to be a big part of that. The defensive line is going to be a big part of that. I want to see also how some of the young guys continue to take that step. Young guys like Lathan Ransom, he's had a great camp in my opinion. I think he's a guy that is working his way into some serious minutes. You could say the same thing about Corey Thornton, undrafted kid that I think has worked his way into those conversations. I want to see if this defense can sustain the way they can against a very good team, a team a lot of comparisons to, obviously because of the obvious, we'll get to that in a minute, but I want to see how this defense holds the offense. Last but not least, Nate, I want to see what happens in the kicking game. I want to see who ends up being the kicker for this team. This second preseason game, I think, is going to tell us that. And I don't think it's just extra points and field goals, by the way. With the new kickoff rules, I think it'll be important to see which one of these kickers, whether it's Fitzgerald, whether it's Wright, who can avoid penalties, if you will, by that landing zone new kickoff rule that's out there. So I'll be watching a couple of different things, but like I mentioned, XL number 1, and then of course that defense.
Yeah, you got to see more out of XL this time around, since
he played 6 seconds, man.
Don't be Muhammad Ali tomorrow. I down in Houston. And you mentioned Derek Brown. Hopefully he does play tomorrow. I want to see the Panthers be able to stop the run. We really didn't. Cleveland really didn't try to run the ball. Houston's going to try and run the ball. They're going to establish that run. I want to see if this defense can actually stop the run. I want to see the Panthers run the ball. They ran it well, but it was a lot of the Bryce Young show. It's almost like they wanted to prove that Bryce Young he could back up what he did last year and getting T-Mac involved in the game. Run the ball tomorrow. Let's see them run the ball against a pretty good, the 6th best defense in the NFL last year. So let's see them run the ball. And you mentioned it, the depth, the defense, man. First and second and third string. The defense need to show. They have to show better against a Houston team. That they're struggling on the offensive line. Maybe this is the chance you get that pass rush off. So the defense has just got to play all around much better than they did. You can't give up 30 points again.
No, you can't.
And if you play like you did against Cleveland, you're going to give up 30 because it's Houston. They're better than Cleveland.
Exactly.
So the defense has got to play better tomorrow. I mean, if you're leaving watching that game and saying, oh, the offense was good again, but the defense, because the Stars are not going to play that third game.
No,
they're not going to play the third game. So
this is it.
You need to see something that's positive tomorrow on this defensive side of the ball, because if not, you're going into Jacksonville like, I don't know.
Yeah. Rookies, young guys, this is when you make the team or not. Because this is the dress rehearsal with the first and second teams. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anytime we have the Panthers and the Texans going to be going head to head, it's hard not to bring up the quarterback battle. You've got Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. One went number 1 overall, the other one went number 2. Obviously, we know what the Panthers did. But the debate lives on to this day, 2 years later. If you just look at the stats, CJ has outplayed Bryce in every category and has gotten his team to the playoffs 2 years in a row. I really kind of hate these things because they don't take on each other. But the comparisons will continue throughout their career. It just until the day both of them retire, they will be compared to each other. Clearly, Stroud was put in a better situation than Bryce Young. Bryce Young went through a benching. He's come back, and but you know, the bloom was off the flower of CJ last year. He had the sophomore slump a little bit. They still made the playoffs, but he wasn't as spectacular as he was in year 1 because the defense was so doggone good.
And look, I also don't like those comparisons because, number 1, they're quarterbacks. They don't play defense. Number 2, they have different offensive lines. They have different weapons. Yes, of course, the comparison will always be made. But give the kid a chance with the weapons, with the line, with the same type of style, and with a defense that's not giving up points. Hopefully that's the case for Bryce Young this year. Well, folks, the Panthers and the Texans, they do kick off at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have, of course, highlights at 11. And then Monday right here on The Point After, guess what? We're going to break it all down. The good, the bad, and of course the ugly. Hopefully, Nate, there's not a lot of ugly. Big contest there, the dress rehearsal really for the regular season.
Yeah, we got